big sister, best friend and protector, had already left with Brock, Brant's identical twin. Danny and Brock had a weird relationship, best of friends, though always dancing on the edge of being lovers. Maybe tonight they, too, would finally take the plunge. Odds weren't in their favor, and I knew Brant was part of the reason why. Both Holland twins had some feelings for Danny, although Brock's obviously ran deeper. I couldn't blame either of them. She was an exotic beauty with her dark, luxurious hair, olive skin, and mysterious gray eyes that captivated every man who came in contact with her. I wasn't jealous of her. I couldn't be. From the time I was 12, when we came to live with Grandma Kay and Grandpa Sam fresh out of a group home, she'd taken care of me. For as tough as she had been, to me, she had been the gentle voice in the middle of the night, soothing me as I cried, and telling me it would all be okay, that she would make it all right for me no matter what. She had been, and was to this day, true to her word. She'd seen me through everything, beginning with the dark first days following my parents' death, when I'd been left alone with no one in the world, all the way to my first heartbreak. Then, to cheering me on as I pursued owning my own restaurant. Brant's feelings for Danny hadn't quelled my own for him. There was just something about him that called to me.
Who said anything about hide-and-go-seek?
Brant gripped the steering wheel, almost as if he were daring himself to prolong our time together. A bit of hope flared in me, even though I knew it wasn't wise. I let go of the door, knowing full well I was skidding onto thin ice that would at any moment plunge me into the frigid waters of reality. Brant was planning on entering the U.S. Senate race next year, and, well, I wasn't senator girlfriend material. I think that role was meant for Jill Copeland. I'd heard her name for years and finally met her last week when she'd come to visit Brant. I'd been comparing myself to her ever since. We both had similar small frames, except I would say I was shapelier and more toned than her. I had long blonde hair to her dull brown, medium-length hair that she didn't quite know how to style. Or maybe she'd been distracted and only curled half of her hair that night. Or there was a chance I was being overcritical because I was jealous that she'd hung on his arm, and every word. Okay, there was no doubt I was jealous. She was not only senator girlfriend material, but she would make an excellent senator's wife. Her father worked with the President of the United States, and she held some high-power corporate job back east. On top of that, she was intelligent and well-traveled. Though she spoke quietly, she was eloquent. Quite honestly, she intimidated me. But in my opinion, she and Brant didn't look at all like they fit together. Yet, she fit into his world. Me, on the other hand, I knew I didn't belong. I'd never been anywhere of consequence, and the only higher education I could boast of was a bachelor's degree from culinary school. Did it count that I was top of my class? I doubted it would count for much in the Hollands world. I tucked some hair behind my ear. "Did you have something in mind?" I asked, not quite believing he actually did, and trying to keep hope from showing in my voice. I too often wore my heart on my sleeve and let my feelings fall out of my mouth before I could stop them, especially around him. Brant took a deep breath in and let it out slowly.
I do.
He smiled as if he had done something brave. Oh, I bit my lip. I'm game for whatever. Ugh, why did I have to sound so eager? I would like to say it was because I was an optimist, that as a child I had believed my mom when she'd whispered into my ear at bedtime, telling me that whatever good I put out into the world would come back to me. In actuality, it was because I had unrealistic hopes and dreams that I could never seem to let go of, Brant being the biggest one. I'd been infatuated with him since I was 16, and Danny had brought him and Brock home for us to finally meet the famed Holland brothers she'd talked so much about. The first time Brant had smiled at me, he'd sparked this unquenchable desire that still burned to this day. So what had I done? I'd run up to my room, embarrassed.